Welcome back to more of World 9, and we're in Bugs Bunny's Crazy Castle 4. And right here we're just starting the second half of World 9. And this is where the levels get a lot tougher, because just like World 4, they're gonna start cutting you off with certain blocks that you're gonna need a hammer to get through. And a lot like World 4, there's certain places where you only have one path in order to get to where you need to go. And here I'm just trying to lure the red monster, I forget his name at the moment. And I know it starts with a G, and I'm sure I'll remember it after the video, but I just forgot it now. Anyway, I got lost, so turns out that was just me trying to figure out where to go. And the biggest thing that's going to be an annoyance in this level is going to be the fact that there are going to be a lot of blocks that you're going to need a hammer to get through. And we do end up getting one, but just not until the very end, which is also a kind of a tease, as I mentioned in the previous part. But anyway, the thing with the red monster, who I'll probably remember after this video is recorded, is that he is going to follow the same patterns as Daffy Duck or Foghorn Leghorn or Wile E. Coyote or any of those other enemies that just chase you around. And here's just me once again trying to figure out where to go, and it turns out I had to go down. And it is pretty easy to land on top of an enemy, especially in this case the ghost is like the third one. He can teleport right into you. So what I'm trying to do here is just get to whatever I can. And waterfalls are going to be back, and this is where they start stacking all the gimmicks on top of each other. So not only do you have ice, you have breakable blocks, and you have waterfalls. So lots of things going against you in these later stages of World 9. And this is actually one of my longer videos for ever since I started splitting up the worlds. And there's plenty of reason for that. Number one, I get lost a ton. And number two, these are stages that are going to take a while to complete, whether or not you're... And it has not much to do with running from enemies, it has a lot more to do with just trying to figure out where to go. Especially, as I've mentioned before, there is usually only one way to get to the doors that you need to get to. And what is important, or what you do in this stage that is important, is that... Actually, let me try that again. What you need to do that is important is just not get yourself trapped. And really the challenge in this stage isn't getting hit by too many enemies, even though that can happen if you put yourself in a bad spot. But the challenge is just getting to the right places. And in these stages, the way you are going to end up getting killed if that does happen is if you end up trapping yourself or getting yourself trapped between a bunch of enemies in a bad spot. That's difficult, if not impossible, to get out of. And let's just take out one of those guys now. Almost went there too early. And one other annoyance in this stage is that there are going to be a lot of horizontal scrolling enemies, so you do have to get rid of or just get rid of whoever you can. And I don't really think I go too nuts with weapons in this stage. It's naturally the next few stages where that might be the case. So anyway, what I'm still doing here is just trying to just find more stuff, and there you're gonna find a trampoline block, and we are gonna need that. So let's just slip across. And here we get the hammer, so I am gonna need that to get to the last key. But that's actually not gonna be for a while, since there are a lot of doors to open up here. And I think they do save a lot of the keys for later. And then let's see, I think there should be another one. Nope, just a weapon. That's how it turned out. I didn't need the weapons as much for this one. I mean, I'm actually kind of surprised by that, seeing as how the last few levels I actually did need the weapons a lot. But anyway, I gotta go back down and take the pipe up. And the reason for that is I gotta get to the 7th key. Or at least I think this is the 7th key. Yeah, it turned out it is. So what I have to do now is go back and take the pipes, and then I do have to backtrack all the way to the left, and that's just to find where the last key is. And up there is the exit. That is going to be important down the road. And that's one thing I had a lot of problems with in this level, was just remembering where everything was. So I did edit out a lot of pausing and looking around in this part. And what I have to do here is use the hammer and take that pipe up. And it is important that you drop down from the right. Otherwise, if you drop down to the left, you slip off into the ice and end up falling off. And then you just have to go through the whole thing again, which gets pretty annoying after a while. And that's just me not knowing where to go again. So it turns out I had to go all the way up and use the pipes in order to get to the exit. So let's just go ahead and take care of that. And just in case you missed anything, they give you a way out with the breakable block. So now on to stage 5. And this is another one that does give me some fits, and early on this is one of those stages where it is really easy to get trapped between an enemy and a place where you can't really get out of. And don't get me wrong, this does take a lot of trial and error to just to figure out where to go so you don't get yourself trapped in a bad spot and so you don't get yourself killed. And if you do end up, and this is probably the one world where you are going to end up losing quite a few lives if you do choose to play this. And see, what I need to do here is just use the pipes. And right there was a way I could have gotten there by dropping down, but I just decided the pipes were a better way. And I am going to use that trick a lot where if you're in the pipe with the enemy, you don't get hurt. That is something that is going to come into play pretty frequently in this world especially. And, you know, I've been doing that this entire series, so, you know, why go away from what I know. And, see, one thing that does make this stage take a while is that there are going to be a lot of pipes you're going to have to use. And, see, right here I think I get a carrot. So now I'm up to 10. So let's just wipe out some more of those monsters. And, let's just take care of him. I was trying to look for some more people to wipe out, but unfortunately that didn't happen. Hey, I haven't seen you in a while. We got a shield. So what I gotta do here is just, go through wherever I can. And, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I'm doing right now. And all I'm trying to do is just make sure I make it through the spot in one piece. I mean, there actually aren't any immediate threats now, especially since I did use the 10 carrots to my advantage, so at least enemies aren't going to be that big a problem now. I think right now it's just a matter of making sure I get to the right places and just get to the keys, as I mentioned before earlier. And here you have to take the pipe in order to go up and then drop down. Fortunately, the monster was generous enough to drop down instead of just going after me like he should have. Then again, I probably would have just used a bomb on him anyway. So in a sense, he was probably saving his own life by running away. Who knew? Anyway, what needs to be done here is that waterfalls are gonna block your way. And right here, you can take either pipe, you really can't go wrong. Unless there just happens to be an enemy on top like this. And I somehow didn't get hit. Think I have to drop down from here? Nope. Alright, trying that again. So, let's see, I did actually sign up to go to PAX East. I am actually pretty excited about that, and I am going on Friday, just in case anyone who wants to know. And that is something I am looking forward to. I mean, unfortunately, the Saturday one sold out in the snap, and same thing with the 3-day passes. Actually, I'm not even sure you can get the 3-day passes unless you order them, like, a year in advance. Not really sure how those go. Then again, I've never actually been to any of those gaming conventions, so I don't know. I'm kind of a little bit nervous, but At the same time, I'm always nervous when it comes to something new. But then again, you do have to do those things. I mean, that's why, you know, people live just to do new things. I mean, some people live to do new things, some people just want things to stay the same. Personally, I kind of like when, you try new things because it's just important to keep things fresh for me. I mean, I'm not the type that, likes to see the same thing over and over again. Even though I do know some people like that, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Anyway, here I use a balloon when I shouldn't have. Because right in here is an invincibility. So I just have to wander around with pointless invincibility, and just make sure I get to whatever doors I can at this point. Let's see, we're at halfway point of the 5th level. There's a trampoline just in case you want to use it. That is something you do want to use at this point because, well, fortunately I did wipe out a lot of them enemies, so I don't think enemies are going to be that big a problem from here on out. And by here on out, I mean the rest of the stage, not the rest of this world. And that's just me getting lost again. It turns out I had to take the other pipe to get up here. But yeah, if anyone out there is going to PAX East who's actually subscribed to me, I will probably be dressed up as Cole from Infamous. I mean, seeing as how that was my Halloween costume last year, even though nobody really got it. But at the end of the day, that's the risk we take when we have obscure references like that. So let's see, we're up to number 7 now. What I have to do here is actually backtrack over, and that's just me wandering around getting lost for a minute. But anyway, I did have to backtrack over, so I had to break a block so I can get to the last key. So let's just go ahead and take care of that. So now I do have to go all the way back over and just make sure I take these doors. I could have taken the pipe again, but I guess I didn't. And I have no idea why. So anyway, here's just me getting lost again, trying to find the exit. Turns out it's all the way up and to the left. Yeah, that was something I really should have done a better job of, is just remembering where things were. I think what I might do from now on, actually, is just pause and then look around for a minute and then just record from there. I don't know, I mean, I might as well just try something new here at this point in the game because starting from World 10, the worlds are going to be 8 stages long, so I mean, just to make things easier for myself commentating over these videos and you guys watching them, I think I might actually do that just so I can get a better grasp of the level so you don't see me wander around like a fool. Actually, I think that was the worst in Bugs Bunny's, or in the third one. Because the second one I actually had a pretty good grasp on the stages and the stage design. And here I could be in trouble. But then, as I mentioned before, I have not actually played 3 and 4 all that much. And I did play 2 a ton, even though I actually never beat it legitimately. Anyway, do be careful when you are going to this pipe because there really is no way to go back up there until you get the hammer. So that's just something you do have to keep in mind. And this is another one of those places where it is pretty easy to get yourself trapped early on. And that's really where the trial and error aspect of this game does come in, is that you are probably going to end up committing a lot of error early on, and that's just going to get you killed. But, yeah, that's just something you do have to worry about when playing this world. And, see, what I had to do here is just get away from people. Or not. And especially right here, since there are 3 enemies that can converge in on you, that's where you could end up getting yourself into trouble. Even though I probably should have used my bomb on him, but I did not. So let's just go ahead and get out of here. Actually, one thing I forgot to mention is that you can lure the enemies into going into the wrong pipe. So I actually end up getting the other guys to, or one of the other guys to go down into the pipe, or try and chase me into the pipe. Which at least bought me some time to get them things done. And at least taking out Elmer Fudd did make things a little bit easier. So let's see, what I have to do here is wander around a bit and get lost. And then turns out what you have to do is take this pipe and then drop down to the right. There, I'm just waiting for those guys to go away. And that's probably the best course of action. Because if you do drop down to the left, you do end up going back where you started. And that's never any fun. So let's see, I think what I'm doing here is just making sure it's safe and making sure I'm going to the right places. This is another place where it's pretty easy to get yourself into trouble. But fortunately, that does get a lot easier now that I've got the hammer. So let's just wait for him and set a little surprise. So let's see, what I have to do here is just buy myself some time, and at least I put some space between me and the monsters, so that's gonna make things a little bit easier. And a 1-up, that was nice of them. And what I have to do here is just go right. And when I do go right, there are gonna be a bunch of doors that you can take, and the main reason for those is just in case there are a bunch of monsters swarming in on you, then it is easier to get away from them. So what I have to do is just take the long way here. And so you got myself a choice. Unfortunately, I end up getting a carrot. I think that's one of those where you can either get a weapon or a carrot. And unfortunately, I end up picking the carrot. Or it might have been something else, I forget. So, see, what I have to do here is just go back up. And I think what I'm gonna do is just use the pipes to get myself some space. And that is something you can use to your advantage in this level in particular. Is that giving yourself space is definitely something you do want to do, because not only are you constantly going to be on the run, but you are also going to have to worry about which ways to go, and I don't know, this level does throw a ton at you, so I mean, just putting yourself in the best spot to succeed is really all you can do. Anyway, I do have to go back, and once again, I do have to go back and use the hammer to break the blocks that are actually holding the keys. I think this one isn't just another weapon. I actually end up needing the weapons later on. So let's just go ahead and get some more things done. And right here, let's just get ourselves a 7th key. I do have to go back all the way to the left, I think, to get to the last one. And I have to do so by taking the pipe. Fortunately, though, it is easier with the hammer, because you can just break blocks to create some more space. Once again, something that's really important. And just another evasion tactic. And right here should be where the last one is. And no, you just made a fool of me again. Turns out it was this one. So now I do have to backtrack all the way to the right. But it shouldn't be that bad, especially when you have editing. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for World 9. I mean, the game definitely turns up the difficulty. Here, I almost get trapped. So with that, I will see you in World 10.